Hello, I'm Abriana Wells. I'm 18, I'm 5'5", and I'm auditioning for a supporting role. I'll be doing a selection from Cries Unheard by Giddy Serenity. When I was a little girl, they used to call me things like psychopath, told me I was inherently evil, and even called me a monster. But you see, I didn't hide under beds at night preying on unsuspecting children, and I didn't rise from the dead planning to eat your brains, and I don't scare you. So what makes me the monster? And that's the million-dollar question. Everybody wants to know, but only I can answer. You see, I grew up in a typical southern neighborhood where the kids played in the streets and roamed the neighborhoods freely. It was an era of endless dog walks, cups of teas, and chats over picket fences. Everybody in my neighborhood was just a little too friendly. I mean, if Jane Doe was having home troubles by 1, you better bet we knew about it by 3. I guess you could say that was one of the perks of having everybody in your neighborhood classified as extended family. But I'm a little confused by it all, though. If they're supposed to know everything, every little bit and piece of my life, why didn't they know that the devil hid in my house? Why didn't they know that the devil put on a mask and disguised himself as my mother? You see, Betty was never really my mother. I mean, it's kind of hard to be a loving mother to a child you never wanted, right? When I was born, the doctors picked me up and swaddled me in a blanket and handed me to my mama. She just looked at me in disgust. "Take this thing away from me." Betty never really loved me. She didn't even try to. I remember it all like it was yesterday. She was always real nice about an hour before it would happen. She'd come to me and say, "All right, baby, it's bath time now." And she'd put me in the bath, and she'd wipe me up and put on my smellies and put on my silk dress and tie my hair up, and when she was done, she'd pick me up, twirl me around, and set me on the couch. "Now listen, you be a good little girl, okay? Don't you move until Mama tells you. Be Mama's good little girl." And like the good little girl I was, I waited. No one ever told me what it meant. No one ever told me what it meant for a strange man to come in and out of your house, so I had to learn the hard way. When Mama was ready for me, she'd pick me up off the couch and put a bandana on me. "All right, baby, we're gonna play a little game your mama likes to call blind man's bluff. You'll have fun, I promise." And then she'd lead me into the room where those men were. And when I got there, she'd hold my hands behind my back and pull my head back behind my head, and she'd tell me, "Good girls open their mouths." And those men, they get closer and closer. My whole body hurt. No part of me left untouched, and I know because I scrubbed it all. And no matter how hard I scrub, to this day, I still feel dirty. I feel so dirty. Now every time I saw a little boy on the playground or at school, I'd see those strange men's faces. And I hated that. I hated them for that. But of course, there are always exceptions. Brian's 3 and Martin's 4, and they're the sweetest boys I've ever met. Heck, I love those boys like they were my own brother. I played with them every day. I just kept thinking that they were gonna grow up. And with each day they grew, I started to see those men's faces. So I decided as their sister, it was my job to teach them right from wrong. It was my job to teach them that they should never touch a little girl. I thought what I was doing was good. Both incidents happened on 2 separate days, but it all seemed to happen the same to me. I led them behind the railroad tracks, and I told them to lay on the ground. And then I got on top of them and I said, listen, we're gonna play a little game I like to call blind man's bluff. And then I put my hands around their neck and I squeeze and I'd squeeze and I'd squeeze, and I saw them struggle. I thought I should stop, but I still saw those men's faces, so I squeeze and I squeeze and I squeeze until light went out in their eyes, their lips went blue, and I no longer saw those men's faces. I didn't know they'd be gone forever. I thought they'd learn the lesson and meet me for tea in the morning. I didn't know dead meant forever. Now how am I supposed to tell my little girl that her mama murdered 2 little boys? When I was a little girl, they used to call me things like psychopath. Told me I was inherently evil, and even called me a monster. And they were right. I was a monster. But they made me that way.